right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another electric edition of Tag Live 205 on Millions, coming to you as I always love to do, weekday and weekend, live on Millions.co, YouTube, and Spotify. Now, if you have not already, subscribe, tap in, and follow the show across all social platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and now Spotify, as I just mentioned. So, let's get right into this. We have a packed show here. College football is the best sport going on right now. You can say NBA, you can say MLB. College football is the best sport. If you do not already, download the college football app. It is on your phones, iOS or Android. It doesn't matter, to keep up with stats, scores, and chaos, which we had last night. Miami just took over. I honestly, the time that I had watching that game was beyond electric. And now the Canes are heading to the college football semifinal to face either the winner between Georgia or Ole Miss. Now, I'm going to put this down real quick, and I'm going to break this down to you. When you talk about Miami and how they weren't supposed to be in the college football playoff over Notre Dame, over other teams that deserve to be in there, but most notably Notre Dame. Do we think Notre Dame would have had that same impact against Ohio State? Do we think Notre Dame would have did that against Texas A&M? I don't think so. Considering that Texas A&M went on the road and beat Notre Dame early on in the season, I don't think it would have been a better result. I think it would have been the same result, just in a different manner. Now, to open up this college football season, like I said, if you have not already subscribed to the show, YouTube, Spotify, and we are live on Millions right now. Thank you to Millions for allowing me to use their platform as always to continue to grow and share this content with you guys. Miami shocked the college football world last night. Absolutely shocked it. Let me be very clear about Miami. They're not a fluke. Miami's not a fluke. When we are discussing Carson Beck in any manner, I love Carson Beck. You guys know this. Carson Beck, without a shadow of a doubt, is a top 10 quarterback in college football. And I said it before the season even started. When you look at what Carson Beck has done for the game of college football this year, for the ACC, it's been unprecedented. On the low, though. On the low. Like I said, they took out Texas A&M. We all saw that game. Only held them to how do you hold them to 2 field goals? And now they're taking out the number 2 defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes, the Ohio State University to be exact. Now, some of the key takeaways that I wrote from last night's game: you beat the Buckeyes in Texas. The Buckeyes don't lose in Texas. They don't lose in Texas. So for you guys to even do that is amazing to me. The Canes, they advanced to the college football playoff. Now listen, the semifinal round, Georgia Ole Miss, they're going to be watching. Mario Cristobal was just on college football morning, game day morning, explaining why his team should not be overlooked. And I have to agree with him. Even as a Georgia Bulldogs fan, I have to be afraid somewhat. Being a second-tier program, too, goes a long way for Miami, because they're not in that first tier like they were in 2001 and 2003. But why Miami won is what I want to get into. They were physical at the line of scrimmage. Ruben Bain secured himself a top 5 entry into the draft. I think he locked himself in at the top 5 pick. The fearless quarterback play. Carson Beck, once again, like I said, when he wants to play, he's going to play. Now, he did not look like he did against Alabama when he was on Georgia last year, Sleepy Joe. He did not look like that. He looked like a quarterback who was hungry, motivated, and wanted to prove all the doubters wrong, especially the college football committee. Now, people, when you play loosely and when you play confidently and when you have that belief that you can win a football game, That's exactly what Miami did. Ohio State, they fell out. What happened? Ohio State, what happened? Honestly, we need answers. I think everybody that has something to do with college football needs answers. Because as you can clearly see, and I'm going to read it off to you. Jeremiah Smith, 1 touchdown. Only one. He didn't even get over 200 yards. Carnell Tate, where was he yesterday? Brandon Ennis showed up a little bit. Your running backs, CJ Donaldson, what happened there? I mean, we can break down so many problems with what happened last night. And a national stage is what Miami needed to win. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're no longer a cute story. They're no longer the story of 2003. They're no longer the story of, oh, dang, they can go 10-2 and not make the playoffs. They're no longer the laughingstock in the ACC. I think that has to go to Clemson at this point. You have Dabo Swinney, and you can't control your own destiny and win the games that the college football committee gives you, and you still lose those games. How do you lose to Louisville? How'd that happen? It's all right, though. It's all right. It's all right. Because this next game, I hope Miami is fully prepared for. I hope Miami is watching tonight. I really do. I hope Miami is watching this game tonight. I really hope they are. Ole Miss versus Georgia. Now, I'm going to say this as the best I can. And I'm going to say it with some dignity. I'm going to say it with bulldog pride. You better not lose to Ole Miss. Don't lose to them at all. Ole Miss is not a team that we need to be worried about. You go in there, you take care of business, unlike Ohio State, and get out of there. Prepare for Miami. Go to the national championship, take care of business, and prove that Kirby Smart is a top 5 coach in college football history. No excuses from Gunnar Stockton. No excuses from Zachariah Branch. No more hybrid running back plays. No more run pass options. Stop the RPOs. No more flagrant flags on the back end. Dalen Everett, this is not for you. You're doing your job. I understand that the team is full of freshmen. I'm not getting on them, but what I'm saying is that Georgia knows who they are. They know that they are the cream of the crop when it comes to college football, the cream of the crop when it comes to college football, the number 1 team in the nation, biasness or unbiasedness. They understand that Georgia is the biggest threat to Miami, Alabama, and Indiana. They know Georgia's the biggest threat to anybody. They know that. So, can Ole Miss outscore Georgia is the question that I have on my screen right now. If they can get it up on my screen, yes, they can. But Georgia, their defense they're peaking at the right time. Their defense is peaking at the exact right time. Now, this matchup is going to be explosive, tempo-driven, and it's going to have a lot of offense. The quarterbacks are going to have to show out tonight. I need Gunnar Stockton to do what Carson Beck did. Don't fall under the pressure. Throw the passes you need to throw. If nothing is there, throw it away. If the scheme looks a little sketchy, you can run the football. I think quarterbacks are forgetting that nowadays in college football. They can run. Run the football. You're forgetting that you have legs. You can run. It may not be a lot of yardage, but yes, you can run the football. And another thing too, Lane Kiffin is a big reason why this team is where they're at. Lane Kiffin leaving LSU has to be leaving for LSU has to be one of the most disgusting acts in terms of a coach leaving basically in the middle of the season. I don't agree with how he did it. I do agree that he should have left Ole Miss though. I do agree that Ole Miss was not the team for him. I do agree with the fact that he said, maybe I can win somewhere else. Maybe I can win a national championship at a bigger school in LSU, a top tier program rather in LSU, who hasn't been a top tier program ever since Joe Burrow left. Let's be honest. Jaden Daniels, he did it. He tried, and Jaden Daniels was a great quarterback for LSU, going down in quarterback lore for them for what he did. He just didn't have the help like Joe Burrow did. He didn't have the help. Garrett Nussmeier fell off a cliff, and Bryce Underwood, remember, it was between Michigan and LSU. What school was he going to go to? He flipped to Michigan last minute. Do we think he should have went to LSU? I'm just saying. There's a lot of things in college football that we can say, if that were to happen, or if this player would have transferred there, or if this coach would have transferred here. But I'm going to get into the coaching angle in just a moment. But if Georgia get control of the trenches, they're going to win this game by 20 points. Ole Miss is not the team to mess with. Ole Miss is not a team that you want to see again, but they're a team that you would love to play again. It's a difference. You don't want to see them, but you would love to play them because you see what Lane Kiffin did to kind of shut down Zachariah Branch and Nate Frazier in the first meeting. You see that Noah Thomas was basically a non-factor in the first meeting. Noah Thomas is going to be that Drake London-esque player. Noah Thomas is going to have that Drake London effect tonight if he's able to get the ball from Gunnar Stockton. So, with Miami watching this game very closely, as Mario Cristobal stated on College Game Day morning, because of how stylistically the Georgia Bulldogs are, Ole Miss and Georgia present two very different semifinal challenges. Ole Miss presents a challenge of uphill running. Georgia presents the challenge of we're gonna take it to you and run down your throat. That's the type of presence that Georgia's gonna present to Miami if they can come away with this win. Now, before I move on to the next topic, yes, I am nervous. As a Georgia fan, you guys know that. I'm nervous because this is the youngest team almost in college football. One of the youngest teams in college football. Our freshmen are basically all defenders. And they all seem to play in the secondary. And what has Georgia's kryptonite been for years? The prayer at Jordan Air, the secondary. Devontae Smith game-winning touchdown in the national championship, secondary. Jerry Jeudy touchdown in the national championship. When they struck back quickly, secondary. I mean, I can come up with so many ways that the secondary used to play better. But with that being said, Georgia's going to win this game. Moving on to Alabama, Indiana. Like I said, coming to you through the airwaves of Millions, YouTube, and Spotify at 2 p.m. Let me know down below in the comments live if you guys would love to see more content on my Instagram. What would you have loved to see last year that I could do better this year? Because we're going up. We're going up. Join the ride, full of seats, because I'm telling you, this train is about to take off. And when it does, it's going in every way possible. So let me know down below. Like I said, tag live 205 on Millions. Tag live 205 on millions.co. Thank you to Millions again for allowing me to use their platform to grow and share this content with you guys. Alabama versus Indiana, a.k.a. Don't Blink. Don't blink, okay? And the reason why I put Don't Blink is because Alabama fans love to say that Tyler, you know, when we win this game against Indiana, just like we did against Oklahoma, we're going to see you again. We're going to see you again. I don't think you're going to be seeing us again. I don't think you're going to be seeing us again. I think Indiana is going to win this game. I think Indiana is motivated from people saying that their Big 12 champion, a Big 10 championship rather, was a fluke. I think Indiana is going to come in there with the Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, and bull rush y'all on the front seven. I think Fernando Mendoza is going to throw all over the defense. Yes. I think Indiana is going to win this game. But I know Indiana is not going to win this game by a blowout. I'm not that crazy. Alabama is still the cream of the crop when it comes to college football lore. They still reserve and deserve their respect. They still have that Saban tree. They still have those Saban roots, even though Kalen DeBoer is still there. We fully understand that Alabama is also a team that when you look at the wide spectrum of their history, you cannot put any player under a microscope and pass them by. I mean, we could name all the players that Nick Saban and that Alabama coaching staff have put out into the NFL. Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones. That's just a few. Jerry Jeudy, Christian Barmore, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Pat Surtain. I mean, just a few. Just a few. Mark Barron back in the day, if you remember. You can't take them lightly. You can't take Alabama lightly. I know that. Indiana knows that. The talent gap is real. Ryan Williams, man. Ryan Williams, I don't know what's going to happen with him. Is he going to transfer after this game? Y'all let me know. Let me know what you guys think about Ryan Williams' status and update right now. But when we talk about this game, is this a Bama trap game? Yes, it is. This is the Bama trap game. Because I just gave you the breakdown of what Mendoza is going to do to them. It's a trap game. It's a trap game. And I'm going to lure you guys in for a second, Alabama fans, because I want you guys to experience what I've been experiencing as a Georgia fan before Kirby Smart got there. I want you guys to experience what I'm going to experience tonight when I tell you guys Indiana's going to win the game. I want you guys to experience what I'm about to tell you guys, okay? And let it sink in. I'm going to lure you guys in. Just how Alabama's going to lure you in tonight to thinking that they're going to win the game, to thinking that, in the first half, it's going to look brilliant. It's good. It's going to look good. The defense is going to do their job. And then all of a sudden, Alabama's going to remember something. Alabama's going to remember that, dang, we played Oklahoma. We beat them, but we lost to them twice. This year and last year. And then they're going to remember that the defense is an A1 defense because of the people juicing them up. They're going to remember that at the end of the day, they don't have Saban anymore to save them. And that is how Alabama is going to crush themselves. You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going? See, the motivated underdog mentality of Indiana is going to get Alabama. Let me break it down to you here. They have nothing to lose. I know that they're Big 10 champions and they're the number one seed in college football, so which makes them the best team in college football. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner. They want to try to get to the college football national championship in Miami and win. I get that. But I think Indiana is just here to prove a point for next year. I don't think they really want to win a national championship. They're not a pretender. Shout out Joe Clatt. They're not a pretender. They're a contender. I can tell you who the pretenders are. Alabama's a pretender. Unbiased take right there. Unbiased take. And I firmly believe before we close this segment out. I firmly believe that Alabama is going to take it to them. Alabama is going to come out with the mentality of like, no, we're not about to play with these guys. All biasness put aside, Alabama is the better team. The SEC is the better conference. So if they win tonight, it won't be a surprising factor to me. But if they lose tonight, it won't be surprising either. Indiana, yes, they're ranked. Yes, they have the better ranking. Yes, they're number one. But don't be fooled by Alabama. You can never get fooled by them. The college football committee knows what they're doing. And Alabama should win this game. But to tell the tale, Indiana believes this all along that they're dangerous. Kurt Signetti, he said, Google me. We're going to Google you after tonight, my friend. We're going to Google you tonight, Kurt, after this game. All right, my man, we're going to Google you and see if you win this game. Moving on, the coaching carousel and program impacts. Lane Kiffin, got to start with him. While the playoffs are continuing, we understand college football is an ongoing sport, basically, even in the offseason, all year long, just like baseball. It's already changing before our very eyes. John Summerall going from Tulane to Florida, I think this was an amazing pickup. And I'm going to mention my school, my alma mater, the University of West Georgia, getting Coach Steve Englehart once again, and welcome Coach Englehart to the University of West Georgia. Welcome, West. This program is going to love you here. As I went down there for his introductory press conference. If you have not seen it on my Instagram, please go look at those pictures. He is an amazing guy, amazing man. I will be interviewing him very soon. So we're going to sit down and we're going to ask some questions on what he thinks going forward a national championship could mean to the University of West Georgia. But he has that Ryan Day factor to him. Coach Englehart, he reminds me of Ryan Day a lot. He has that Ryan Day calm mentality, but he has that Mike Vrabel development. Keep that in mind. The Ryan Day mentality, but the Mike Vrabel development. That's what he has. And I'm excited for my alma mater to get back in the swing of things in college football. Now back to the big schools. Lane Kiffin, LSU, as we all know. I got a couple bullet points here that I want to break down. It's going to raise the pressure for LSU to win. And a stability question long term. How can Ole Miss bargain off of LSU getting Lane Kiffin? Well, stealing recruits obviously would be the easy answer, or stealing a coaching staff would be another answer. You take LSU's tactic and you twist it and you make it your own. Yes, we understand it is the state of Mississippi. Nobody wants to play in Mississippi. But because Ole Miss has somewhat of a history of being the Ole Miss Rebels, a school that was established in the 1800s. Yes, when you look at it, their football program doesn't really have those bigger stars, but they still have names. DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. They still have names. Jackson Dart. Trinidad Chambliss looks like he's going to be the next one to come out. Kywin Lacey looks like he's going to be the next one to come out. The portal is going to be urgent tonight. Starting tonight. Because I know New Year's Day, and Happy New Year's to everybody who was watching this stream. It's going to be so important for us to see where players land and how they're going to affect those teams. So I'm going to point out two coaches here who I firmly believe are going to have major improvements in the portal and are going to be contenders for the college football playoff next year. Coach Prime Deion Sanders and John Summerall. I feel like Florida and Colorado are going to be two teams that's fighting for college football playoff spots next year. I know I may look like a fool saying that Coach Prime and Colorado's fighting. They're going to be a team to watch out for next year. Don't be shocked if Coach Prime ends up going out of his way to recruit players. He did it with Jordan Seaton. He did it with Juju Lewis. He came down here to Carrollton plenty of times. We saw the helicopter. Mind you, I went to school in Carrollton now. You guys know this. I saw the helicopter plenty of times. I saw the primetime legendary Colorado private jet only once, and it's huge. But he's going out his way to recruit players. Now, obviously, Carrollton is the best high school and is the best high school football team in the country. Yes, they are. Georgia has the best 2 schools again. Buford, actually 3 schools: Buford, Grayson, and Carrollton. Get like us. Get like us. All right. But the impact it's going to have on potential flips, decommitments, transfer, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting time to see where different players go. Identity changes are going to come fast. Trust me. There's going to be some coaches that are let go. There's going to be some coaches who don't think that this player fits their program, that doesn't think that this player fits the mold of their scheme, and they're going to be dealt with as quick as a step of my finger. Because college football, the committee at least, they're not playing that. They're seeing too many coaches leaving. So now what they're about to do, they better get a stranglehold on that. They're going to nip that in the bud real quick, trust me. In today's college football, coaching stability is like currency. You pay the coach to stay. The coach has to want to stay. But if the coach doesn't want to stay, then the coach can leave whenever he doesn't feel like the stay is in the right place. You see how I made that wrong? You see how I made that wrong? You see how I made that wrong? And before we go, I want to give a couple shout outs. Final thoughts and shout outs, shout outs. I'm going to give a shout out to one of my longtime friends and Miami Hurricanes fan, Jihad Sinke. Yes, that brother was excited last night. He was nervous when the game started. But it's like I told him at the beginning of the first quarter. Be nervous, but don't be worried. Because Ohio State did the same thing that they did when they beat Michigan all those years ago. Okay, the last time Ohio State beat Michigan. All right. I'm going to give you guys a quick history lesson before we go. Do you know the last time Ohio State beat Michigan? In 2019. That's the last time Ohio State beat Michigan before Michigan went on this glorious run. In 2019, Matt Ryan was still on the Falcons. In 2019, Tom Brady, last season on the Patriots, was upon us. In 2019, Kevin Durant left Golden State to go to the Brooklyn Nets. In 2019, LeBron James, King James, acquired Anthony Davis, a.k.a. Lud GM. In 2019, the Washington Nationals beat the Houston Astros in an underdog role to win the World Series. Nobody expected them to do it. In 2019, Aaron Judge was deemed the best player on the planet. In 2019, Georgia was just getting their identity back as a team. That's how long it's been. In 2019, Lamar Jackson won the MVP. That's how long it's been, people. So, before we go here, as always, thank you guys for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing on this show. Do not forget to subscribe to me on Millions. Go read my bio on Millions. If you have not already, you can subscribe to my Instagram Live, my YouTube, my TikTok. Follow me on TikTok and follow me on Spotify to keep up with more Follow me on Twitter as well to keep up with more college football takes, all sports takes, NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL. I do it all. WWE too. We're going to get into some TNA WWE episodes as well coming up soon because WrestleMania is on the horizon. WrestleMania season is on the horizon coming up soon. The Royal Rumble's coming up soon as well. So give me your predictions down below before I do a video. So that way you can get a shout out on the show as well. This is Tyler A. Gates. I am your host. And guys, stay live. Subscribe, follow if you have not already. And we are on the road. 2026 is going to be the year of Tyler A. I hope it's your year also. Thank you guys for watching. And hey, continue to stay live, y'all. Peace.